Welcome back to Half-Life Alyx.
Yep.
So, in between episodes, as we promised, I showed Mabeanie the
announcement trailer.
The trailer, yeah. So, what do you think? What's going through
Right,
your little
so-
brain?
Yeah, it looks clearer in terms of the graphics, but I think overall it looks like a really good, fun game.
Yep.
I'm
And
not
that's
sure.
it,
I'm not
so-
sure what the story stuff is or when it's set.
Well, I can tell you all this stuff, but yeah. Just
Yeah,
give me your thoughts and then
but-
I'll answer questions.
The thing that I mean about the faces is the characters look a bit too different. Like even with Alex's dad, he looks he just looks like his face's structure looks a bit more different than what it is in Half-Life 2 and Episode 1 and 2.
I can agree to that. He is younger in that, though.
Okay.
In this, I should say.
But so maybe
Oh,
that'll
fine.
make a bit of sense. But I think structurally, the faces structures, and that applies to G-Man as well. It just looks different. They've done something different, and
Is that a bad thing?
But it's like they didn't even try to replicate what they had in Half-Life 2 and then just slightly modify it to do whatever they wanted to do with it.
I think they did. I can see the resemblance, but they just wanted to, I don't know, update it, make it look different. Give it a fresh look sometimes. It's
Because they do like the lines around G-Man's mouth, and then and then obviously they've got what's his name? Alex's dad?
Eli
Vance. He
This is a guy from Ocarina of Time, by the way. It's the main character.
yeah, I know.
Just putting that out there.
Well,
Everyone
isn't
knows
that a
that.
theory?
No, actually, I think it's confirmed in one of the like Hyrule stories or something. So this is literally him
Yeah.
turned into a
Passing
Stalfos
down.
in the Lost Woods.
Do you think that Link would actually do that?
Do what?
Do you think that Link would pass on his knowledge to like a future incarnation of himself?
Well, he's literally doing it now, so yes.
Yeah, but I know, but it's just like it's the same. It's my same attitude to like would Luke Skywalker raise a new generation of Jedi approach. Like, would the character does it make complete and total sense that the character would go and do something, or maybe there was just not enough suggestion that they are the sort of person to do it.
I think
and
it's
so
more of,
and so it surprises me when they do it.
I think it's more of, in my opinion, that it's more of a suggestion as to why wouldn't they. I don't see why Luke wouldn't teach.
Well,
new
yeah, it does
generations.
seem like the next step for him, and the establishment of a good foundation for the future. And obviously original like his ideas of what the Jedi was supposed to be are based on what he was taught by legends.
He was still taught a lot from Yoda and stuff, and he wanted
Yeah.
to pass on his teachings to new
Yeah.
generations. Otherwise, the Force would just die with him, you know.
So, what's the character of Link? He's just a good guy looking out to save people and restore things to the way they were before the bad things came.
Essentially, I mean, he's
And
all
so-
about being righteous and justice.
And so what he wants to do in all of his adventures is to make sure that things are stayed protected, and so this is just him doing that. Because it doesn't feel that way in the games, but it sort of makes sense.
Well, it's because he
that
has
that's what
no
he'd go for.
personality in the games.
Yeah.
That's why I would say that then it's reasonable to assume that he would do something like that because we actually don't know otherwise.
Yeah.
That makes it easier in a way for us to understand.
Right. So I suppose then,
Um,
in regard for my comics, then it sort of makes the same sort of sense where. No, maybe it makes less sense for my characters because I haven't established it so strongly as something like The Legend of Zelda. But even maybe The Legend of Zelda isn't a strong.
Wait, how much
Series.
is it? I don't even know how much it costs.
Does it say? Read it. 20 rupees.
Oh, 20 rupees. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I thought it said. Alright.
Anyway,
I'm gonna give him a donation as well.
Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah. So
So you hate the fact that the characters look slightly different, and it makes you so mad that you're gonna just scream and throw a tantrum and throw something through my glass window over there.
no.
Oh.
It just bothers me that the characters look a bit more different.
It's just that, you know, you see it a lot in game design, where just after a while, if it's been a long time, they like to update the designs, make it feel fresh. They did the same with Borderlands 3. All the characters look different.
Yeah. I thought that was probably a bit more to do with the like the stuff that was going on in the background throughout the development of the game, and controversies that were revealed after the announcement of the game.
Like what?
Who's the guy? Randy Newman?
Randy Newman?
Whatever his name is.
Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford.
That'd be fucking hilarious with Randy Newman.
But he's his relationships with the developers and people involved in the project, that made me think, they've had changing of licenses and stuff. Assassin's Creed had that as well. They lost the license to the model of the first 3 games, which was the guy who was used for Altair, Desmond Miles, Ezio in the first 2 Ezio games. And then from Revelations onwards, they couldn't use that same model, so the character looked different.
I did not know about that.
Well, I don't know what the deal was for that particular thing. Maybe they just chose not to go with the model, but obviously they had the license to use that model's face. And so then they couldn't do it later on. So I thought that was a bit interesting. And so maybe that's my thought in terms of changes for... I mean, maybe they had that sort of thing for Half-Life, but I feel like Valve's big enough to make a more respectable and right move and get things lined up in the right way. But also, who makes Half-Life, Alyx?
Valve.
It's not licensed out to a particular developer?
No.
Right, then what's up with the Australian guy? Okay, you're gonna have to tell me the whole of Half-Life Alyx now. I think that's where I'm at now.
Okay, well, so first question, what's up with the Australian guy? Is that what your first question is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
What's wrong with having an Australian guy?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like having...
He's a new character, so we know very little about him.
Okay, yeah.
He's not a pre-existing one.
Yeah. Well, it's like in Star Wars, you got different accents and people from different... Well, it's mostly American and English, and maybe some Australian, but I don't know.
I've never heard an Australian actor in Star Wars.
Well, there might be one, but maybe they don't use their accent so strongly or something like that.
Possibly, that's typically how it is.
Maybe they just don't have a particularly strong accent.
So yeah, we don't know about that, but I think it's cool. I like having people.
New character, something to... I suppose it's also good for something new to come into something that you know so well, and then you get to sort of relive that experience.
Well,
and re-enjoy it from a different perspective.
It is a new game. Like, it's a full new game. It's
Yeah.
apparently it's around the same length of Half-Life 2.
Right.
It is an actual installment into the franchise. If I think like you didn't really know earlier, but it is a prequel to Half-Life 2 and a sequel to Half-Life, so it's literally Half-Life the pre-sequel.
Yeah.
So it takes place in between. However, we've been told that its story does kind of fit in the universe, and it does help to play Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and stuff like that to understand and things like that. So it's not necessarily the next chapter, but it is an important chapter.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Well, it's like at the start of Half-Life 2, you go in and they seem like they know what they're doing, they've got something going on, and you just kind of walk into it and you're all, hey, what's going on, how can I help?
Exactly. So in this, in Half-Life Alyx, you kind of, I don't know.
Like, they're building that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
probably the beginning of the Combine invasion, and
it's not the beginning, but it's very close to the beginning.
Right, so it's early on when they start. Well, I guess. Well, if it's about Alyx, like, when her story really begins.
I guess so. Yeah.
Her involvement in the story begins. And her involvement as in things that she does, not just stuff that she was around for when her dad did it. Because obviously he used to work at Black Mesa with Gordon. Didn't he? Wasn't that the thing?
Eli did, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a scientist, and so was Kleiner.
Yeah. Except the game looks so different,
So
so
is
you can't
Magnuson.
recognise any of the characters.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
What other questions do you have for me? I'm eager as a beaver. Also, this is that one character that I don't like. I don't like its cat design. It freaks me out, man.
Yeah.
Why do they have to have bead eyes?
Yeah.
Why do they have to
It's
have weird nipples?
Oh,
Why
yeah,
does it
he
be
does,
half a
doesn't
bird?
he? Jeez.
Ugh, I don't want it. Oh, look at his face.
Yeah, he does. He's like the
Ugh.
Last Jedi boob monster.
Yeah.
Why are people so bothered by it?
This is weird.
It's
People like to be bothered by things.
yeah. Well, it's like like when we've been talking about what YouTube's been doing lately and how, and so my thinking is that it's always popular to go against the man and things that seem bigger and out of our control. It's always popular to hate those things, to hate Donald Trump, to do that rather than to try and understand what's going on and try and like be good about it.
Well, no comment on political based things.
No, but
Personally.
I can't remember where I was going with that at all, actually.
Alright, cool. You're saying how it's popular to hate things.
Yeah.
Or to, you know, that you think that a lot of people just do things because that's just what everyone's doing.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it when people go for things not for something that seems to not be their own reason.
Yeah.
That seems like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I think people will like me for doing it, rather than because they have more of their own reason for it. I just like people being themselves, and I really don't like it when they seem to not be being themselves. And I think that the best person that anybody can be is who they want to be.
Right.
And if they try to be something that they don't feel comfortable being, then it shows.
Yeah.
That's my.
Well, great. Don't know what that has to do with anything, but
nice
it was very
inspirational.
Very inspirational.
No, it's just my half-assed opinion.
I was asking you like what questions you had about Half-Life Alyx, by the way. That was the original.
Yeah.
I don't know where, how, or where, or why.
Oh.
But
I don't really have any questions for it.
Oh.
I think that it's good that they're making an entirely new thing with it. Based on.
You think it looks cool?
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I mean, it's Half-Life.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, it's really good that there's like so much good reception around it, even though the obvious that there's definitely a very expected subsection of people that are extremely mad about the fact that it's VR exclusive. And,
I hope that what it does is makes VR more accessible. And
that's the
easier
point, right?
to work with in the future as well.
So with each Half-Life game, it's an innovation, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because people had a kind of similar complaint with Half-Life 2 because Half-Life 2 was at the time, it was like the highest quality shit, and you literally had to buy like a new computer to play it.
Yeah. But also, didn't it come with Steam or something? You had to have Steam to play it, and people didn't have it.
I think there's lots of little bits like that, but it worked, and it opened up the way to so much more. And it was really cool. So yeah, maybe it will open up the way for more VR to happen and stuff. And I'd be excited for that. I've never even played VR in my life.
Also,
I'm probably not going to get VR anytime soon, but I'd like to.
Half-Life as a game, or Half-Life 2 as a game, with the Source engine became a strong basis and inspiration for other game engines.
Yeah. There's lots of little things like that.
And especially with something like Gary's mod, to take that and to just really allow people to explore the engine and what you can do with it. It just made it. And
they're gonna do that where they're going to let you. They've already started giving tools for Hammer and stuff like that. So to encourage people to make mods and stuff. I believe there's certain details like that. I can't remember the exact thing because it doesn't interest me as much personally. But there is they're going to be allowing people to have the tools and stuff like that to make mods, I believe, and things with the new Half-Life Alyx stuff. Half-Life Alyx is also in Source 2, which would be pretty fun. Yeah. First full game, I believe, with Source 2.
Alright, what games have come out recently by Valve that have been published or co-developed by Valve?
Artifact, I guess. I don't know. This now we're actually going into the parts where I'm a little bit
Yeah.
unsure, so I can't really
No.
say one
We're
way or the other.
remembering it.
But regardless, it looks very good.
Yeah.
The Source 2 engine and everything. So
Mm.
I don't know. I'm excited.
In other news,
In other news,
there's a new.
actually, in other news, I think the episode's over.
Yeah, it is.
So
So next time on other news.
next time in other news, we won't talk about Half-Life Alyx anymore.
Yeah.
This was the one episode. Goodbye.
Bye bye.